Hey everyone, welcome back to another Rugby Hub episode where we are chatting about the preview for the round four of the Rugby Championship. Gabsy, very excited to see you again. How are you?
Hi, Goody. Lovely to see you. Super excited. We see quite a bit of changes in that Springbok lineup. So bear with us if we miss something today, but we're going to try and cover all of it. Yeah, I don't know. Should we go straight into it, Goody?
Let's get into it. What
There's,
what
there's,
what are we
there's so
waiting
much to
for?
talk about. Yeah, I don't want to waste some time on the introduction here because there's so much to talk about. If you look at that, tight five, you see Stephen Kitsoff and Malcolm Marks coming in that front row.
Mm,
I think actually that tight five looks terrifying. I don't want to play against
yeah.
them. Malcolm Marks back, amazing. Stephen Kitsoff back, amazing. Eben Etzebeth and Louis de Jager in there. So yeah, and then in the loose trio, you also see two changes. So you see Franco Mostert coming in for Peter Steph de Toey and Jasper Wiese coming in for Dwayne Vermeulen.
Mm.
Interesting fact, Dwayne Vermeulen dropping to the bench there with his first ever game for the Springboks coming off the bench. I think that is in 63 test matches.
What? Are you serious?
I am serious. Go fact check it.
Go, I
So
will
yeah,
fact check you afterwards.
yes. And then on the
Um,
bench, you also see Dion Fourie getting another
yeah.
crack. I think my only concern is should Malcolm Marks get an injury. Dion Fourie has not played at hooker in some time and never internationally. Um, I'm pretty sure he's been practicing his line-out throws and scrums the entire week. At least that's what he should be doing. So
Mm,
yeah, if you watched the video, Dion, please go and practice your scrums and your line-out throws if you're not doing it already. And then you see
mm.
Oxenche and Trevor Nyakane on the bench with Dion Fourie, as
Good to
well
see Trevor
as
back though.
yeah. I mean, it's great to have him back. I love him. I think he's an animal. And then you have
Yeah.
also, like I mentioned, Dwayne, and don't forget about the man Kwagga Smith. I think it was quite a bit of talking point. Shouldn't he get a start? But we probably have a plan there with Franco
Mm,
Mostert being another line-out option. And
yeah.
I actually think, just fun fact, there was this prediction on Facebook, and I actually said I think that Franco Mostert might put in a man of the match performance. I just think he's the type of
Mm,
player that's been urging for opportunity, and I think this is his. So yeah, that is it for the fronts. We'll talk a
mm.
bit more about game plan, etc. Let you quickly cover the backs for us, Guri.
Sure thing. Look, no Faf de Klerk this week. It looks like he's been dropped. Actually, instead of he doesn't have an injury. Like with the likes of Andre Pollard and Lucanio out with injury for the rest of the Rugby Championship. So we're
Concerning.
gonna need we're gonna need some cover on there, especially at outside 10, so number 13. We don't really have a good replacement for Lucanio. He's been so exceptional in the past games that we didn't really think of that, to be honest. We just assumed he's always going to be there. But you have Jesse Krill coming in for him. But people forget that he's got a good partnership actually with Lenda, right?
Yeah.
The two played centers together as a pairing in the 2015 World Cup. They've also got some test matches where the combination for them two at center has been rock solid. So I'm not too concerned about having JC there. But then for the rest, I mean, obviously with Andre Pollard being injured, I mean, and we don't really have a good replacement for him. Obviously, Elton Yankees not really performing that well at this stage and catching a little bit of stick from the rest of the South African rugby public. But you got Damien Willemse covering that position, and I think the public is very, very excited to see him play. I think everyone that I've spoken to is excited to see Damien Willemse pulling the strings at 10. I think he's a great attacking threat. And he's got Willie Leroux playing on 15 with him. And we've seen how the two of them can spread the ball and really direct the attack of the Springboks. So I'm
Yeah.
very excited to have them two playing together and also seeing if they can ignite the youngster, the guy that Jake White said will play 100 tests for the Springboks in Kanan Moody, and the second youngest Springbok to debut. The only one younger
That's
than him was on
is
the
the
bench,
one.
Franz Stein.
Franz
So he's going
Stein,
to bring a
yes.
hip hop experience off of the bench.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's very, very cool backline. I like it. I like seeing Damien Willemse there partnering up with Jaden Hendrickse. You got coming off the bench a guy like Reinach, who's been out with injury for quite some time. and we're very excited to see him back. He's got a lot of pace, and I think he will also bring a lot of energy from that bench. And then Frans Steyn and Warwick Geland. So no, excited actually. These injuries have come actually as a blessing in disguise, where we actually see some other players coming in. So that's great.
Yeah, no, definitely, Gordy. I just have to quickly, I can't help it. My brain doesn't want to let it go. But I appreciate you giving credit to players like Damien Willemse and Willie Leroux, because they went to an excellent school. They went to Paul Roos Gymnasium. I don't know if you've heard of that school, but it's nice to hear it from a boy's eye. Sorry that I had to bring a bit of school into that. But anyways, yeah, I think Damien, if he steps up, it's going to be huge. He's probably going to play there for the rest of the championship. Should he go and lead us into victory this weekend, which I really think he could do. Excellent player, great threat on attack, great on defense.
Yeah.
He showed that he can kick the ball. His tactical kicking will be very important. But I definitely think if there's one guy at this stage in the form that he's in that could go out there and do the job, it's Damien Willemse. So super excited to see him at 10. Also happy for him. You know, he played his schoolboy rugby there, also his first seasons in Super Rugby. So he's no stranger to the position. But all in all, to sum up what also what Jacques said, you know, is that what they want to do this week is really focus to convert that pressure into points. This has been a concerning part of the Springboks plan or way of play that they've had. Pressure. They don't convert the points. And I think this week it will really be about converting the pressure into points. And I really hope to see, you know, an excellent game of rugby from the Bokke. They are a little bit under pressure, coming off 2 losses now. And also, I think if you look at that forward pack, it's a terrifying pack, lots of experience, lots of informed players. So super excited to see the Bokke bounce back. I'm quite confident that we will.
Yeah, I think with that forward pack, they will give some forward momentum for Damien to play off of when he slots now into that 10 jersey. And like you said, turning the pressure into points will be the main focus point for the Springboks. And that's why it's good to have a guy like Damien Willemse there, because he's not afraid to have a go. He's playing with a lot of confidence. And I think putting in deft little chips, cross kicks, or letting the ball rip wide to Willie Leroux to exploit the sort of wider channels will be great. And also, we've got 3 fetchers on the bench coming in who's going to slow the Australian game down and maybe get us some turnovers. And once we get turnovers, and then we go on counter-attack. And that's where a guy like Willie Leroux is very dangerous. And hopefully we see some excitement coming from Canan Moody as well. So
super excited. Super excited.
They're playing this weekend against an Australian squad. Maybe we should touch on that. The Australian team, very consistent. Dave Rennie with his selection this time around. He's back. Lolosio again, who's had a very confident performance last weekend around. So very, very happy for him to actually get the nod again. And Reece Hodge played very well on 15. I thought the forwards really fronted up very well against that Springbok pack last weekend. So you don't see any changes there as well. And
you see that
selection.
Nick White is fit. Nick White is also fit. We
Nick
were
White
concerned.
is fit. He's stable and he's been cleared.
And he turned down all the offers from all the football clubs, which is surprising concerning the money. But yeah, should we maybe tell our followers and fans, those of you who don't already follow us on Instagram, please go and follow and give us your thoughts. Our poll this week, the question was, will they go back to back against the Bokke? Obviously, the Aussies. And we had, we got our first vote for probably. Okay. Earlier in our previous recording, this was not the case. So we got 1 vote going in there. So we have 12% probably, 12% maybe, and then 25% hell no, and 50% near, which is no.
But I don't understand that poll, because there is no yes that the Wallabies will go back to back.
As a South African, it's not possible to say yes. You can say probably.
There's only a probably. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, on that, Gabsy, let's also talk about Argentina. Can they go back to back against the All Blacks? I think it's going to be a big ask from them to put in another mammoth performance like they did last weekend around, where they beat the All Blacks with 7 points. And it was really a hard-fought victory. And I think it's very difficult to repeat that intensity for 2 weeks in a row. But Michael Cheika, great coach. He's got the right coaches around him and the right advisors, and the players have bought into the plan, and you can see it. So they play with confidence. He's backing their players, and they've also gone with a consistent selection. So it's good to see Bufeli performing again from the right wing. He's been exceptional in the past games. So that's very good for him. And then you got Carreras, who can cause some damage. Juan Martin Gonzalez moves to the bench. He'll bring some impact for sure. And then the Pablo Matera, who's I mean, he actually last weekend he played such a good game because he's been playing his campaign with the Crusaders, right?
Yeah, that's true.
And at Christchurch, obviously it's the home of the Crusaders. So he looked like he was leading from the front foot, and all his players stood behind him and really performed with.
I also saw quite a bit of chirping coming from him, but I mean, rightly so. I mean, he was getting under this. Yeah, he's an amazing player. But yeah, I mean, to wrap it up on that note, I think that, you know, the Argentinians should really get the credit that they deserve. That, you know, should they go back to back against the All Blacks in New Zealand, nobody can say anything to them. And also, I really think they could put their hand up to take the championship then. So yeah, don't write them off. We told you from the start, these guys are playing excellent rugby, which
they're the real deal, Gabsy. They're the real deal.
Yeah, coming
for the
back
All
to
Blacks,
it's just that, yeah, one kind of big change in the bench, right?
Well, I mean, Bowden Barrett's coming in, right? So that's not a big change. That's a big change, right? He's back from injury. So I think Richie Mwanga struggled last weekend. But I think it's because their forward pack maybe struggled a little bit. And the tackling, obviously, from the Argentinians were exceptional. Although the All Black scrum looks very dangerous. And that's it's good to see, because that's a very important part of the game, as we know. So you got Bowden Barrett coming back in. But for the rest, it remains very stable. I think Shannon Frizzell has brought a lot to that All Blacks lineup. He's been very physical and getting the go forward momentum. So let's get into the predictions, Gabs. What do you think? Let's start with the Springbok game.
Let's do it, Gweri. Just our fans thought that there's a 67% chance the All Blacks will win and a 33% chance the Los Pumas. If you haven't voted, go vote. Give us your thoughts. Like and subscribe. Yeah, so for me, I'm going to go. I have my score for the Bokke game, and that is going to be 27-21, 6 points for the Bokke. Hopefully, it's a higher scoring game than that, but that's what I'm going for. And then for the All Blacks, Pumas, sadly, I would love to see the Pumas win. I just don't know if they're ready yet to go back-to-back in New Zealand. So I'll say the Kiwis by 8 points.
I'm not too far off with your selections. I think those were quite spot on. I think it's for the Springboks and Wallabies. I do think it's going to be more a high-scoring game. You've got more attacking threat coming in. We saw the Australians, they can score tries against the Springbok defense, which I think won't be as good this time around. So I'm going to say the Springboks also by 5 to 6 points, but I think the score is going to be somewhere in the 30s, which I think will be a fun game to watch.
That will be amazing.
Then, I would love to say the Los Pumas can go back-to-back in this one. I think it'll be incredible if they do. But repeating such an intense performance with that amount of pressure and intensity that they brought against the All Blacks is very difficult, especially in New Zealand. So I'm going to go with the All Blacks beating Argentina with 10+ points, maybe even. So
all right.
Yeah, well, it remains to be seen. Great rugby coming up this weekend. Gabsy, something for the fans?
Yes, please. Guys, we really appreciate you. We appreciate the support. Share it with friends and family. If you keep coming back and keep watching, please do hit the subscribe. Couldn't even get the word out. That's how excited I am to say it. But yeah, we really appreciate it. Please comment below. Let us know what you think. Let us know if we missed something, or, you know, just give a score prediction. And yeah, thank you so much for tuning in and coming back for the support. We appreciate it. And Gweri, thank you for your time. Super excited to be back with a review, and hopefully it will be a pleasant review, if you know what I mean.
All right. Thanks, Gabsy. Okay. Thanks, everyone. Cheers. Have a good weekend.
Thank you. Have a good weekend. Bye.